नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। योऽन्ता प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत किल शक्तिधरा स्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणात् त्वदादीन् प्रणाम नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। कथाञ्चन स्मृते यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्रीचैतन्यानन्दम्। Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming for our last session on this topic of Pancha Kosha. So I will share with you some more tools and exercises which can help you develop your Pancha Koshas. So we are again odd number. Okay. So first I will share with you one very nice exercise which can help us develop all the koshas. Especially, of course, I'm not sure about the physical health part, but in terms of our consciousness, this is the way we can see Krishna divinity everywhere. So for this, you will have to partner with someone, and so who is coming now? So I'll have to explain the whole thing again to him. So you decide how you will pair up. Ideally, two people should be there, and you have to do so. You have to do it very fast. Okay. So first, so all of you have a partner. So what we will do now, you will think of somebody you want to really appreciate. That person should not be spiritual Prabhupada or your spiritual master, and also not the person in front of you, not the person you're talking to. It gets a little complicated. So Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj and all we appreciate all the time, but it has to be somebody who is alive on this planet and not your spiritual master or Prabhupada. Is that okay? So what we will do now in the next, I'll give exactly 2 minutes. So both of you have to speak to each other. You have to appreciate someone who is not
Prabhupada spiritual master
and
not around you,
and
not in the person.
yes and
Is alive.
is alive.
याद रहेगा? सोच लिया एक व्यक्ति के बारे में? Yes, anybody.
Can it be a fellow VTM?
It can be Virat Kohli also. Anybody.
Can it be a fellow VTM?
Huh? Anybody, but not the person.
Not the person.
वो complicated हो जाता है फिर. वो मेरे को appreciate कर रहा है, उसका दिमाग और नहीं चलता है. ठीक है? Clear? Wait, you don't. But there is a rule here. In the first round, we are going to do 3 rounds. So whoever it is, you have thought of the person.
Yes.
So you have to talk about that person to your partner. You decide who will talk first, how will you do it, that you decide. So if you are 3 of you, then nobody is allowed to be passive. All 3 of you have to do it. First round is where you will appreciate that person, but you will talk about yourself. I'll give example. I just want you to first. This is the way generally we appreciate people in this world, which is good because we are not impersonalist. So appreciate another person, but talk about yourself means we appreciate the person for what that person has influenced, how he has influenced me. It is centered on I. Like for example, there is one devotee who comes to help me in my deity worship. So if I have to appreciate him, so if I was your partner, in the next 30 seconds or 40 seconds, I'll speak about him. I'll say like this: Lalit Madhav Prabhu is very good devotee. He comes every Monday. He is so nice, when I was struggling so much with my health and my mother's health, he went out of his way to help me. And once he left everything and he came all the way to my hometown to take care of my mom. And whenever I wanted anything, and he's also managing, because I'm taking care of my mother, I needed some bank help. So he's managing all my finances. He's helping me, and I don't understand technical things, but he's so good. He's also he does all the Shaligram worship arrangements so nicely that I don't have to worry about anything. Everything is pakka calm he does for me. So I'm so grateful to him. He's so nice. So I'm appreciating him. But about what he's done for me, how he is influencing me in my life, how my life changed because of him or her. If you're talking about, let us say you talk about some film star, being a mundane example, you really appreciate that person. How by watching his movies or by reading about him, how your life has changed. If you're talking about some businessman, then how it has inspired. It's all about you, but you're appreciating him. Is this clear?
Yes.
Don't think too much. Can you do it? The time starts now. Okay, both of you have shared. Only one person has shared. Okay, the other person cannot share. See, I'm exercises that you have to decide how much you will speak and how much you will not speak. So you have 1 more minute left. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you. Huh? So now the second round, we will appreciate the same person to each other, and I will just tell you when 30 seconds are left. So you decide how much you will speak and how much your partner will speak. So now you will appreciate the same person, but this time it will be little different. You will not speak anything about yourself. It is as if you don't exist only on this planet. If you are not existing on this planet, if you never took birth, but you are observing him from above, how will you appreciate it? Do you understand what I'm saying? So, for example, if you were my partner, I will tell you about Lalit Madhav Prabhu. Lalit Madhav Prabhu is a very responsible young man, and he takes care of his mother very well. His mother was very she cooks for him breakfast, lunch. She packs his dabba for his office. He goes, but then on Saturday Sunday he cooks for his mother. He takes care of her so well, and every year he goes to Gaya, performs Pindadarpan for his father. He's so grateful to his parents, and he always gets best employee award in his company. And he is working for an American firm, but he managed to make everyone in his office call ladies as Matajis. So he's very pakka in devotional service, very talented, but very grounded. मेरा time हो गया. So the idea is, so did you observe something here? Was Brajbehari Das anywhere there? The first round it was all about me, how he has influenced me. Second round, it is as if I don't exist. Then how will I appreciate it? Can you do that? Okay, your time starts now. 30 seconds left. Okay, done. Okay, so now we'll do the third round. So now this is a little tricky, where you will appreciate how many people you appreciated or you heard about appreciation, each one of you, total, huh? Two, na? About one person you spoke and about one person you heard, or three in that case. So now you pick up any one name. You don't have to. If you have time, I'll give you total 3 minutes. You can talk about all the three, or all the two, or at least one. You should have very clarity. You have to do few things. First, you have to understand. Pick up any one name because you heard also and you spoke also. Any one name. And now it is a combined team effort where you will now first understand who is this person, what are his qualities that is coming out. You are appreciating him. You told what all he has done, what is doing, but what are the main qualities that are coming out, and mainly where do you see this quality in the universe? Do you see this quality in, now you can talk about Prabhupada, Guru, Krishna, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ramayana. Do you see this quality somewhere else? Do you see similar thing happening somewhere in the universe, in divinity, in history, in our parampara? In the Lord, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavad. So if you were my partner and we decide to speak about Lalit Madhav Prabhu, what are the qualities that are coming out of Lalit Madhav Prabhu? Do you remember what all I spoke?
He cares, compassion.
Huh?
He takes care of his mother very well.
So let us take this one quality. He takes care of his parents, is grateful to his parents. So do you see something in the parampara, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna consciousness, Ramayana, Mahabharata, history, somewhere something like this is, because we want to now connect him to divinity, we want to connect him to Krishna.
So recently, Prabhuji, we visited Wonderful. So the whole pastime is based on this Kundali, who takes care of his mother.
So now Lalit Madhav Prabhu is, when you see Lalit Madhav Prabhu, you should remember Kundalik. Or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Matra Bhakta Shiromani. He is known as the greatest devotee of Mother. Srila Prabhupada dedicated his Krishna book to whom? His father. So Lalit Madhav Prabhu goes to Gaya and takes care of his father when he offers tarpan for his father. So Lalit Madhav Prabhu is carrying the same mood as Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Kundalik. And one more person is there in Ramayana, Shravan Kumar. I'm just taking one quality of Lalit Madhav Prabhu. So if I have difficulty fighting with him because of some management issue, that I should remember, ये तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु जैसा है. That is divinity in him. So we are all one with the Lord, right? So we are all having some qualities. So now we are, first round we spoke, it was centered on I. So our happiness in this world is centered on I. When we keep ourselves aside and focus on other people, then we are touching higher dimension of happiness. That is the second round. And third round, from I to other person to Krishna. Now we are going to Krishna. Getting it? So you have exactly 3 minutes. You can do all the 3 names or 2 names, but at least do one pakka. You can do all the 2 also. I'll tell you when 30 seconds are left. Your time starts now. Okay, done. Huh? Okay. Okay, done. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So, seeing divinity around us, seeing divinity in others is Krishna consciousness. So, Krishna is a person, but Krishna also manifests in this world. So, when we connect with Krishna in this world, then we become qualified to go to spiritual world. If we cannot see Krishna here, how will we see Krishna when we go back to the spiritual world? So Krishna means spirit, divinity. So this is what we have done. Exercise is extremely important to develop your pranamaya kosha, because your insecurity goes because you see Krishna everywhere. It also makes your manomaya kosha very strong because you touch higher dimensions of happiness because you are going beyond yourself and you're able to see others as representing parampara, Krishna, Bhagavatam, like that. And also your Vijnanamaya kosha develops because you are connecting to higher intelligence. You are not restricting your life to your own needs and desires. And when we see Krishna, then we also develop our Anandamaya kosha. We experience much fulfilling happiness in our lives. So this is an extremely powerful exercise. Once I was doing this exercise in New Jersey, so after I asked for realizations and one Prabhuji raised his hand and immediately put his hand down. So then somebody else, I was speaking, I was noticing him, he was confused. He wanted to say something, but he didn't say. So during Prasadam, I asked him, you wanted to say something? He said, yes, Prabhuji. My partner began speaking about one person in our community who I hate. So in the first round, when he was speaking, I was like, oh, he's talking about, he's appreciating someone who I don't like. Then I thought, oh, maybe this person is good because he has got benefit. Because in the first round he was talking about how he helped me, how this happened, that. I tolerated. But in second round, I was shocked. He started talking about how this person is so wonderful and how he's helping others also. And I had never known it. But the worst was third round, where I had to also think how he is carrying some divinity. So now I didn't realize that the person has so much beyond myself. I was thinking about him only in terms of me, how I am angry with him, and everything was from my lens. So generally in this world, we are biased, prejudiced. We are unable to see a higher reality. Like there is one in Phoenix, I was doing this exercise. So one Mataji said in our, they were discussing. So in the first round, they spoke about one brahmachari in the temple who is very old. And second round, first round happened. Third round, can you guess the divinity? Because this person is enthusiasm for deity worship. They were talking. How he is very old now. Now he's not able to dress the deities also, but still he's so attached to the deities. So he takes a stool, he sits on the stool, and he does the deity worship. So then the third round, I asked about divinity. Can you guess what they must have, who they must have compared him to? Yes, why Gadadhar Pandit? I didn't know this person at all. The first, it was a home program, and then they spoke about him, and just hearing about that person, I was filled with so much love. And next day when I went to temple, when I saw him, it was as if I'm meeting somebody who I already know for a long time. And he came and he didn't know me at all, but because I carried that love, he came to me, embraced me, held my hand. We were talking as if we've known each other for a long time. I was also surprised. Then I realized it because of that energy of positivity, appreciation, seeing divinity. So I was looking at him like as if I'm meeting Gadadhar Pandit. So we are not Mayavadis. But the point is, these are, see, is our all counselors meeting. We have every 3 or 4 months. So all the senior counselors are there. So there's a 2-day retreat we have. So one time I was doing an exercise. So I did this exercise. So then I asked any realizations. So one Mataji said something very interesting. She said, Prabhuji, I was talking to my partner. So Mataji is on one side, Prabhuji is on one side. So her partner, she said, I will appreciate my husband. So she began talking about her husband. So her husband has one very unique quality that he has this sixth sense. He is able to tell his wife, both are working senior corporate leaders. So sometimes they have corporate programs, parties. So he would tell her, I think this particular program should not go because you don't like that person and then you feel irritated. But she would insist on going because then she would say, and then she would exactly have a bad experience what he predicted because he had that. Some people have an intuitive sense. So instead of thanking him, she's saying, Prabhuji, instead of thanking my Prabhuji, I would get angry with him saying that you cursed me, that's why I had a bad experience. But after this round, now I am grateful. Now I am happy with my husband and I see that he really has good quality. So it was such a nice thing, that she's able to appreciate that quality because till that time she was using that quality as a negative thing. Then I said, Mataji, all this is okay, this is sentimental, but can you see divinity? Can you guess what she must have seen? So she saw her husband as Lord Shiva. She said, today I see my husband as Lord Shiva. Everybody clapped, everybody laughed. And that Prabhuji was sitting behind. He raised his hand. He said, I want to say something. I said, Bolo, I'm very grateful. I'm very happy today that my wife has at last started seeing me as Lord Shiva. But I must admit in this assembly that I've always seen my wife as Durga only. She is Durga. So everybody laughed. So this is very, very important to see others are, parts and parcels of Krishna. They are carrying. There are examples from Bhagavatam, Ramayana. There are so many. See, we are not like Muslims and Christians or Jews. We have scriptures where there are stories, Lord's pastimes. So when we connect, then our horizon expands. We are able to spiritualize daily occurrences. So this is extremely important exercise. There are more stories I can say because I do this workshop wherever I go. I've done this everywhere, and I have got so many examples of people's lives changing because of this exercise. And then Krishna consciousness becomes a happy process because you are hunting for good experience. There's one more exercise I want to do with you, but before I do that, I want to ask you. The last class was 3 days ago, Saturday. Is there anything you remember from the last class? Yes, bro.
Living in the space of gap and the space of gratitude. So our day should be planned in such a way that it is like a sandwich, starting with the gratitude, ending with the gratitude, and in the day part we can work on the gaps, filling the gaps.
Yes. Gratitude for the gains. I spoke about gains because you're always gaining something. Anything else?
Yeah, the exercise we did, like after hearing a lecture or class, what we can do is the first round we mentioned that we share what we have learned. In the second round we begin that we share what we liked about it, what we relished, and third is what we are going to resolve, what we are going to make a change from here in the
What we
lecture.
want to live by.
Live by. So that I like that you should. I feel that I should do it after every lecture I hear.
Yes. Sometimes you may not get anything practical. It is just like being with Krishna. Just be in that space. That is also needed. But that was Anandamaya Kosh you are developing. Anandamaya Kosh develops when you want nothing. Just be in that sound. That is the end. That is not the means. What we did exercise, we are trying to get something from the scriptures. But what we should also be like we're chanting Hare Krishna for peace. But Prabhupada was asked what you get by chanting Hare Krishna. He said, more Hare Krishna. वैसे भी होना चाहिए. Scriptures we are hearing to get lessons, all that. But sometimes we should hear scriptures just for being with the scriptures. Okay, anything else from the last class? Anybody wants to share?
Prabhuji, you gave example upon brahmachari who want to leave ashram, but after discussing with you, he again connect with his what things he attracts in Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
Then he took decision of not leaving the
Yes.
ashram.
Original love. What attracted you to Krishna? Huh? Very important. Thank you. Anybody else remembers anything from last class? What happens if you focus on your inadequacies? What happens to your gaps?
I will create more gaps and I will continue creating gaps more and more.
So if you are always in that inadequacy space, I'm not good, then when you see your gaps, we all have gaps. We all have areas for improving. We all have things that you're not happy about. But if you inherently if you feel inadequate, then when you look at the gaps, those gaps become what? Those gaps become proof of you being inadequate. They become proofs of you being unqualified. But if you inherently are in the space of enough, I am enough, I belong to Krishna, I am good the way I am, then when you look at the gaps, those gaps become opportunities for growth. I also asked a question: when are you inspired to do more? When you are criticized or when you are appreciated? So when you are in the gain space, you are appreciating yourself. Like today morning, I took a note of what are the gains I had yesterday. I had 16 gains yesterday. But 2 big blunders also I did. So I'll work on that today. but I keep failing, in some areas. But okay, 16 gains. So this is very important. Is there anything else from last class?
That is that came in Vigyan Map, that you told me that when we heard something, for example, Bhagavatam, so first we just heard, then Mananam will come. We need to contemplate on that what we heard, so that we can recollect everything. Then further is application, how to apply this in our life, and then prarthana, and then how to pray. Vandanam.
Thank you. Shravanam, Mananam, Nityasanam, and Vandanam. Hearing, learning, applying, and praying. Yes.
The thing regarding the chanting you said. So after Saturday, I started chanting the way being relaxing and the way, and I felt a lot of like when I try to control my chanting on my basis, then the mind wanders, and even like I don't get a kind of experience which chanting should give. And right now I changed the way since Sunday, that being relaxed and just experiencing the chanting activity itself. So automatically, like I'm able to concentrate, and I'm able to hear the sound vibration.
Yes. Thank you. So did I do the gratitude exercise where you thank for something specific, fresh? Why? We have not done that? Okay, so we'll do that now. So with your partner, you are going to practice, you're going to make gratitude a practice. Gratitude is not a feeling. We sometimes think gratitude is a feeling. I'm feeling grateful or I'm not feeling grateful. But gratitude is not simply feeling, gratitude can be practiced also. So, how do we practice? So, you will tell your partner about the things that you're grateful for in life. It could be for something that has happened to you, or it could be for something that you are doing or you have done. But when you're expressing gratitude, you can't say, sometimes people say, I'm grateful for everything, Krishna. So, when you're grateful for, thank you, Prabhuji, for everything. Thank you for everything means thank you for nothing. Because gratitude is then very abstract. So first criteria in this round is you will see that whatever thing you are thanking for, it has to be specific. Kunti Maharani in the first canto she says, Vishal Mahagne Purushada Darshana Rasat Sabhaya. She's talking about the different things that she's thankful for. She's not saying thank you Krishna for everything. Specific. Second, keep that gratitude as fresh as possible. Fresh matlab something that has happened in the recent past. You can always thank for earlier things also. You can thank for your parents, for your grandparents, for your school teachers. That is okay. But generally, I've seen that when you do gratitude practice every day, it becomes boring and mechanical because you cannot thank the same people with the same intensity every day. I can't thank my grandparents and Guru Maharaj every day with the same feeling. But when you start making gratitude practices fresh, which means what has happened in the last 24 hours for which I am grateful, then your mind is always looking out for good things during the day. You are catching, you are hunting for good things. So that is what you attract them. So fresh gratitude is extreme. Just like when you are cooking, you get fresh sabzi, fresh vegetables. Anything is fresh that gives us life. So gratitude is okay for thanking Krishna for giving me human form of life. But if you are thanking Krishna, Krishna, thank you. Yesterday, this Prabhuji called me after 3 months and he was appreciating me. I felt very valued. Something fresh, something that happened yesterday, something that has happened in the last 24 hours. Is that okay? There are three criteria. What is the first? Second, fresh. So when you are going to thank your partner, you have to follow these three rules. First is it has to be specific, it has to be fresh, and third, you have to explain why you are grateful for that. It can be one line. You don't have to give big lecture on that. See, what is happening here? When you make gratitude specific, then gratitude becomes a practice. Otherwise, it is a feeling, vague. It is on the top of the ladder of abstraction. But when you make gratitude specific, you are making it, you're coming down the ladder. Second, when you keep it fresh, then you are entering the energy of gratitude. You are touching. See, gratitude has power. Just like fire has power, gratitude also has power. It can burn away all negativity. But that fire will affect only when we are able to invest energy. And generally, fresh things, it's fresh in the memory, so we are able to express gratitude with more energy and more feeling. And third, the most important, why? Because when you say answer that why, you are forced to invest emotion. You're forced to enter the world of emotions of that gratitude. Why are you grateful for something? Like if you are my partner, I'll say, I'm very grateful for many things. I'll say, I'm also grateful for yesterday. I really loved Ekadashi Puri and Aloo Chira and Turiya Sabzi. बहुत अच्छा लगा, मजा आया. Thank you Krishna. But why? Specific भी है, fresh भी है. But why? Because I'm a foodie. I like good food. हो गया, एक line. But when I say that, I'm being honest, I'm being authentic. So then that gratitude carries energy because there is authenticity. Are you clear? Can you do this for 2 minutes? What are the 3 rules of gratitude?
It has to be specific, fresh,
And why?
and why.
The time starts now. Okay. Hare Krishna. Done? Hare Krishna. Thank you. So what we have done just now, we are thanking Krishna for. How many of you thank Krishna for your problems? Did anybody thank that? Okay. Did anybody thank Krishna for uh, something, for you lost your job or something? किसी ने कहा कुछ? Did you anybody say no, na? But eventually, when we are dying, we are going to lose everything, na? If you love your family, so everybody, everything that you're attached to will be taken away from you, right? You agree? So death means everything is taken away. So then, after everything is taken away, where we are supposed to go after death? Back to Godhead. So, will we go there? What is the criteria for going there? We have to say thank you, Krishna. Only then we'll be able to go. How can we thank Krishna when he's taking away everything? If we cannot thank him now when he's giving us so many things. If we can't thank Krishna for giving us so much, how will we thank Krishna when he starts taking away? And ultimately, you have to say thank you when he's taking away. So practice now. I'm not saying you practice. You say thank you to Krishna for losing something. I'm not saying like that. Don't think. You immediately ask difficult question. How to thank Krishna for losing my job? No, don't do that. You do what is possible. Man, Krishna will give you the strength to thank him for the problems when you're dying. See, when we were in school, my math teacher used to say, first attempt easy questions. Then when you have time, work on the difficult questions. Simple है ना maths का. So similarly, in Krishna consciousness, don't try to solve difficult problems. Don't you how to forgive those who have harmed us. अरे पहले you start appreciating those who love you. जो नहीं कर सकते उसके बारे में मत सोचो इतना. जो कर सकते वो सोचो. So gratitude for Ekadashi Prasad. It's okay. Gratitude for morning program. Gratitude for whatever, good friends. This appears mundane, appears materialistic, but it is okay. At least start thanking Krishna for what you are getting. Then eventually, Krishna will give us the strength to thank him for the difficult things. And ultimately, we have to reach that stage. 10th canto, 14th chapter, 8th verse. Tattenu kampam susamikshaman, where we can tell Krishna that Krishna accept everything that you are giving. And gratitude is definitely not the highest. Beyond gratitude, there is dependency on Krishna. Beyond that is surrender. It's a cyclical thing. It's not vertical scale. But that's another subject matter. But right now, gratitude is very, very, very important. Otherwise, we will not be able to appreciate Krishna consciousness. So, what are the 3 criteria of gratitude? Fresh and why. If you have a choice of becoming a billionaire, 2 choices. You become very rich or you feel very rich. अंदर क्या है मालूम है मुझे. I want to feel rich. But we all want to become rich, right? But what is more powerful? What is the advantage of feeling rich over becoming rich? Abundance mentality. You don't have to at least worry about paying taxes. You are rich. Feeling rich is any day better than becoming rich. So gratitude will ensure that you are feeling rich. So if you are living in the ashram, if you are living with poverty, you are having nothing, you still feel rich. Okay, so I have 5 minutes more now. I have two choices. You have to tell me what I should do. I could take questions, or we could have one more exercise. No questions, no clarifications. Yeah, some questions we take. I would give preference to questions if you have, because I don't know when I'll meet you next. Yes. If you have, you ask now.
In Pranaya Kosh, I have one question. I'm unable to remember things. I struggle very hard to remember things like shloka or everything. I generally forget things. So, is it related to the pranamaya kosh or our breathing?
It has got to do with karma also. Abilities. Everybody doesn't have the same abilities. But you can try relaxing, breathing. If it helps, great. Relaxation helps. But some things you cannot. Like for example, Bhagavatam Shloka learning. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu just reads once and he feels he knows it. He memorizes it. I have to chant one shloka 300 times to memorize. I count also actually. Then after 300 times, as soon as I wake up in the morning, I try to chant. If I can chant without mistake for 5 consecutive days, then I know that I memorized it. Then even after that, after 6 months, I forget. But I keep memorizing, not because I want to achieve memory, but that act of chanting and rote repetition itself is very purifying and it makes me very happy. So you can try breathing, relaxation if it improves memory, but according to me, some memory is some talent, some karma. Not everybody can memorize. Like Gaurav Krishna Prabhu is not able to memorize Chaitanya Charitamrita verses so much, but Sanskrit is more comfortable. I'm more comfortable with Bengali verses than with Sanskrit verses. So memory is something very different. I mean, I'm not pakka expert on that, but you can try. I've seen when I relax, I'm able to grasp things faster. You can try.
Thank you.
Okay.
Prabhuji, morning program practices, chanting, and rest of the spiritual practices, sometimes it happens that we still drag ourselves to carry on as a duty. Say we say that we'll chant 16 rounds regularly. So as you said that it should give us a feeling of shelter, but sometimes it gives us a feeling that I have to carry it. It's a duty kind of a feeling it gives. So
Most of the time it will be like that. See, the greatest football player in the world is
miss
Messi. Must say Messi. So Messi, he then a football match is 90 minutes. So it has been observed that the ball is on Messi's feet only for 90 seconds. So in that 90 seconds, he does all the magic and is become the world's greatest football player. But for those 90 seconds that the ball comes on his feet, he has to do so much. He has to be in the 90 minutes. He has to get up in the morning, go for jogging, do exercise, then play the match. He can't say only, I have 90 seconds, give me the ball, I'll hit the goal. It doesn't happen like that. Similarly, maybe 7 days you will be like struggling, getting up, but doing the duty sincerely, and then 8th day you will be able to listen to the Holy Name. You will feel shelter. So we have to do to get the right thing. Like when I was a young boy, there was a movie which was we used to never talk about whether you have seen it or not. We used to say how many times have you seen it? It was such a big hit movie. Then there was one scene where the hero and the heroine don't talk to each other; they just look at each other with longing, and there is a sun setting, and there is silence. They are just sharing silence, and they're very far from each other. And that the entire scene is just 1 minute, 1 minute 10 seconds. and that soft music in the background. But to get that scene right, so they had stayed near Bangalore, this film crew, for 35 days to get the perfect sunset. So they would start setting up all the apparatus, all the equipment morning 6 o'clock, and for the evening sunset scene. And after 35 days of every day 12 hours of working, they finally got it right. And that scene is just 90 seconds in the 3 hour movie. And that is considered as the most powerful scene in the movie. So to get butter, you have to keep churning, 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 then you get. So do the duty over a period of time for many days. Then you get realizations. You can't get just shelter, feeling, ecstasy. Okay? So, okay? Anything else? Yes.
So like I see like most of the things are related to people or some lesser on the things aspect and more on the people side aspect. So I'm just unable to frame the question, but is it deficiency in one of the koshas? If anything, you have to see gap or gratitude or anything. It comes down to some person or like people or some people related situation rather than the things or something.
Give an example.
So if right now we did the exercise of gap, so sorry, this exercise, so gratitude exercise, so grateful to Krishna for having someone in my life who thinks understands me, like my counselor, the situations through which I'm going, maybe the health or something like that. So anything where that could be related to having some prasadam, grateful to Krishna for that or something like that. So I could not able to relate with things a lot, but with a person, people a lot.
So, what is the problem?
So is it kosha deficiency in any of the koshas?
You are thinking too much. Overthinking. Generally, overthinking happens when pranamaya kosha is not developed. Even manomaya kosha. So this is called paralysis by analysis. You are trying to map everything. You are trying to connect everything to Panchakosha. So letting go is a very important aspect of wholesome personality. Surrender. Let go. ठीक है. Enoughness. Gain space में रहना है तो थोड़ा. See, not Hare Krishna people, even on outside people talk about surrender. Oprah Winfrey also talks. There are many non-religious spiritualists. They always talk about surrender, surrender, surrender to the universe. We criticize them, make fun of them, but they are sometimes more evolved than us. They are able to place their life in the hands of the universe. They are able to follow. But of course, we say they are going by their mind. It's true. Mind can cheat us. But we have Krishna, but we don't surrender to Krishna. We keep struggling. So what you're talking about is you are in the space of struggle, trying to figure out, trying to control, trying to understand. So we are in the inner world, we are in one of the three places always. Sense gratification, struggle, or surrender. Sense gratification means you're sitting here, you're thinking, what is that for breakfast? Aloo chachari hoga, or badeshi khichdi hoga. So if you are talking Krishna consciousness but thinking of food, that is sense gratification. Just like outside, you could be in office or at home or in temple or body. Similarly, mind can be either in sense gratification, struggle, or surrender. Sense, so externally you are in sense gratification, and internally you are in sense gratification. और it could be planning. अरे 8 बज गए ऑफिस जाना है, ये करना है, कपड़ा धोना है, पेट साफ नहीं हुआ, ये करना है, 16 माला खत्म करना है. That is struggle space. Meeting the gaps. That is struggle space. Surrender is where you are present and you accept the present moment and you place your life in the hands of Krishna. Surrender is when you are not doing this for something else. This is the end. So ask yourself, where are you right now in the inner world? You don't have to tell me. So if I am sitting there and thinking, "Kabhi khatam hua, bhagna, ye karna," I'm struggle will always lead to self gratification, because struggle is temporary space. You cannot live in struggle all the time. You get tired. You will need enjoyment. So either you go down to self gratification, or you give up the struggle and enter surrender. Krishna, I give up the struggle. Krishna, I am yours. I don't have answers. Krishna, chhod diya. That is surrender. So when we struggle a lot, devotees slip to sense gratification. But ideally, we should give up the struggle and go to surrender. समझ रहे हैं? Chariot में horses are running wild. आप सो रहे हो. That is sense gratification. Senses are like horses. Then you come to Hare Krishna. Hey, become Goswami. Control the senses. Horses को पकड़ लिया. So all devotees in Hare Krishna are taking charge of the chariot. We are in the struggle space. Devotees are in the struggle space. Karmis are in sense gratification space. We say, no, ये नहीं खाने का, वो नहीं खाने का, गलत नहीं करने का, ये नहीं करने का, YouTube में देखने का, struggle. But after some years of struggle, you realize, ये घोड़ा तो बहुत powerful है. Krishna, I cannot control. Then you give up. But not because you are sleeping in the chariot. Krishna, help, Krishna. And Krishna takes charge of the chariot. So sense gratification and surrender, they look similar. If you're in sense gratification space and surrender space, they are same externally. They look same because sense gratification also you are not doing anything. Who is doing? Mind is going wide. Surrender also you are not doing. Who is doing? Krishna. So people will think, अरे ये भी वो हमारे जैसे enjoy कर रहा है, कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, मंदिर में बैठा है, खा रहा है, पी रहा है. So sense gratification and surrender is, so from sense gratification we can't jump to surrender directly. So you have to go through this struggle. You have to fill the gaps, work, come to temple, morning program, fight. ये सब struggle करना पड़ेगा. But at some point of time you have to घोड़े को छोड़ देना पड़ेगा. कृष्णा, like गजेंद्र, योंता सरस उरुबले न गृहीत आर्ता. कृष्णा, I give up. तो ये जो आप क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हो, this is a classic example of struggle. Trying to map everything, trying to get answers for everything. कुछ लिमिटेशन कुछ हद तक हो गया आज, बट इसके आगे कितना करेंगे, कितना आंसर्स. There will be always more questions than answers in the struggle space. Surrender space में okay, I'm enough, मिल गया सब, कुछ नहीं जानना है. There is nothing more to know, there is nothing more to do. I told that example ना last time. वो प्रभुजी बोले, प्रभु हम लोग इतना स्ट्रगल करके मंदिर आते हैं और आप भी स्ट्रगल कर रहे, आप पहुंच गए. आप जो ढूंढ रहे थे ना, वो आपका सर्च खत्म हो गया. अभी आप जिधर आ गए हो, अभी इससे आगे कुछ नहीं है. अगर ऐसे मोड में है तो आप सरेंडर स्पेस. तो स्ट्रगल इज इंपॉर्टेंट. तो स्ट्रगल के समय यू हैव टू रिमेंबर कृष्ण. दैट इज स्ट्रगल प्लस सरेंडर. देन कृष्णा विल पुल यू टू ओनली सरेंडर स्पेस. इज दिस क्लियर? आपका अगर गाड़ी अटक गया हाईवे में जीवी जाते समय, तो आप क्या करेंगे? तुरंत फोन निकालेंगे, अरे, और वो हेल्प मांगेंगे, तब आप इंटरनली प्रे करते रहेंगे, कृष्णा हेल्प. अरे फोन उठाओ, कृष्णा प्लीज हेल्प. दैट इज स्ट्रगल प्लस सरेंडर. यू आर प्रेइंग आल्सो, तस्मा सर्वेषु कालेषु माम अनुस्मरेत्. भगवान को याद भी करने का, स्ट्रगल भी करने का. दैट इज व्हाट वी आर सपोज्ड टू डू. बट समझ लो आप प्लेन में बैठे हो और पायलट अनाउंस करता है प्लेन क्रैश होने वाला है, मे डे. अब किसको फोन करेंगे? तभी हाथ उठा के ओनली सरेंडर. So when Draupadi was called to Duryodhana's assembly, what is the first thing she did? She remembered Krishna, and she was also trying to protect herself. She was negotiating Bhishma, Drona, और कृष्ण को भी याद कर. तो struggle plus surrender. वो हाईवे में थी, उसका गाड़ी अटक गया था. But when Dushasana pulled her sari, तब वो समझ गया उसको, द्रौपदी को, कि मैं हाईवे में मेरा कार अटका नहीं, मैं प्लेन में बैठी हूँ, प्लेन क्रैश होना. You understand? So at that time she had to
surrender.
let go. इसको हम artificially imitate नहीं कर सकते. What we can do? Then Krishna, because if he sees you are sincere, you will create situations in your life where you have to give up struggle and go to self gratification. You can go. Many people do that. Sorry प्रभु, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे.
तो जी इसमें मतलब वो थोड़ा डिटेल में मैं ये बोल रहा था कि द द्रौपदी वाला सीन, like when Dushasana pulls her sari, then she tries to hold it within herself. That is the discussion somewhere I've heard from Vishnu. Like she tried to catch on her sari, then she tried to with her teeth she tried to protect it, but at last when she was not able to, then she उन्होंने अपना पूरा हाथ उठा लिया and then she completely surrendered.
Yes.
Other thing, Prabhuji, was related to surrender. Somewhere I have read from Bhaktivinoda Thakur Saranagati, some section. So there he writes like two types of surrender. The one is really the surrender of surrender to Krishna, like leaving the struggle space and then surrendering to Krishna. But the second surrender, he talks about the surrendering to the wrong thing. Like many times it happens that in a context of surrender in a very premature stage when we think of surrender, so sometimes we are very loose, जो होता है होने दो, like that, जैसा चल रहा है चलने दो, and sometimes we may fall the victim to surrendering to wrong thing, and that degrades us rather, like that doesn't elevate us to surrender space but rather in sense gratification space. Yeah.
Correct.
So how can we rectify it, in any light on that? Surrendering to the wrong thing.
मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, स्ट्रगल में आपके पास चॉइस रहेगा, either self gratification or surrender. You have a choice. उस समय क्या करना है वहाँ, it's like it's like two people on land talking about पानी में जब हम डूब रहे तो कैसे स्विमिंग करने का, क्या पानी में पहले जाके वो डिस्कस करना है, पानी के बाहर बैठ के हम क्या डिस्कस. It's theory for a speculation, but surrender is when we let go the struggle. That is surrender. There is trust. Krishna will take care. Okay, I'll take leave. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So who will give me the recording of this 6 sessions? You have to do two things. You have to give me on a pen drive, I'll copy it and put it on my computer. दूसरा गूगल ड्राइव में जो भी वो लिंक भी देना पड़ेगा, because there are some devotees who want. हाँ, तो वो भी मुझे
very peace giving and solace to the heart. We can practice something in reality. So we will express our recent fresh gratitude to Prabhuji by in traditional style by chanting 3 times.
Haribo! 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 Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much.